Hello and welcome to the Freedompreneur Hot Seat, where I help freelancers and business owners break down their obstacles to freedom. I'm a business coach. I'm a business systems expert. My name is Jean-Luc, and here I am with Jen. And Jen, tell us what your business is and where you are right now.
So I'm a death doula. My business is called With Dignity Death Doula. And what is a death doula? I essentially hold space for humans as they journey through the end of life.
Okay, and where are you located?
I'm located in Elmont, so just outside of Ottawa.
Okay. And why did you get into this business? What do you love about it?
What do I love about it? I find it's a privilege to actually hold space for people as they journey through the end of life. And we all are going to die. It's also a strong belief of mine that within society, we do not speak of death. We do not speak of all the things end of life. And it's become a passion of mine and a goal to change that.
Okay. Where do you see this business going for yourself?
For myself, I see it as a full time career. I see it as being my main source, my only source of income.
Okay. And what's stopping you from getting there right now?
It's getting, it's not even knowing how to do it. A lot of people don't even know what a death doula is. And so trying to get that out there and helping people to understand what that looks like and how that can fit into their lives or their loved ones' lives.
Okay. So what I'm getting is that there's a sort of gap in the education of what you do, right? People don't quite understand it.
No, they
And
don't.
from
Like
what,
even medical professionals don't.
right. So the number one rule when it comes to marketing, this is a foundational rule, is not to try to educate everyone. It's really a waste of time to try to educate people on what you do. Instead, meet them where they're at. So what is the problem you are solving? Just for an example, I had somebody, that said they were an osteopath, right? That I was working with. And they say they're an osteopath. Well, a lot of people don't know what an osteopath does, really, right? So that leaves a lot of people when they have a problem, not even having her come to mind as a solution. They're just they have a problem. So when I asked her, what problem are you actually solving here? She said most of her clients, most of her prospects come in for back pain and neck pain. So I said, okay, so you're an osteopath, but you're also a lower back and neck pain expert. Now, when I have a lower back or neck pain expert and I get that trigger of the problem, then I think about her as a solution because she's been talking about that. Instead of her educating me on what all the things an osteopath does that doesn't relate to me, I know directly what the problem is and I see her as a solution to that. Okay, so when we look at what you do, what is the problem you're actually helping people with?
And
Well,
not
what is the so
understanding
so
their
ma-
resources.
so imagine that I have a family member that's dying. I don't want to deal with it. What is my problem?
Your problem is you need someone else to deal with it.
Right. Why?
Because you don't want to.
And what are you going to provide? Because what's wrong with me not doing it?
That person's then alone and has no one to do it for them or with them.
Yeah, but the problem me that's going to pay you as a family member is going to pay you to come and help. What is the problem you're helping me with? Because I don't want to face it.
The problem I'm helping you with as the person who's paying me, I still feel like I'm providing care for your loved one for you.
Yeah. So for me, the problem is I'm uncomfortable with this. This is my
You're
this
uncomfortable
is
with the
my
end of life. Okay.
right? This is my problem. So
Right.
I need
Okay.
you, the solution, to come and
Hmm.
ease this transition to death because I don't know how to deal with it. I've never been taught about it. I don't have the passion for this like you do. I don't know. I've just been placed here, and
Right.
I'm feeling uneasy, uncomfortable. I'm feeling lost. So what? These are the problems that we're facing.
Right.
So if we just go to your website here, right? You want, oh, I can't scroll. You want your the main message here should be speaking to my pain.
Mm-hmm.
Are you uncomfortable with this transition? Right? Is
Yeah.
this let me help ease your suffering. I'm here for you.
Right.
Right? So you want to narrow in on the problem. So what I've heard from you so far is um, you've told me that you've planted seeds over the last year
Mm-hmm.
of just trying to educate people on what is a doula, which now
Mm-hmm.
we know is not the way to do it. It's to just be very
No.
clear on what you do. You help ease the pain and the confusion around this transition in somebody's life, and you're
And
there to
addressing
support
the
them.
family more so even than the client who's dying.
Hmm. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
So so now you're at a point where you need to get paid for what you do,
Mm-hmm.
right? So how do you get paid? Well, first, when I was looking at your website, I'm not seeing a very clear package of what I get,
Yeah.
right? What I'm seeing is just like an hourly rate or just this, I think I said it was written grief and there was a price point.
Yeah.
Um, Here we can pull it up again, right? Here, again, it's sort of just educating them on what it is, but here, what is this advanced death
Mm-hmm.
plan? I don't really know,
Mm-hmm.
um, there's not much detail. Grief 375, what is grief, so
Yeah.
you have to be clear. You gotta narrow in on the problem itself and how you're fixing that problem for people. Then you
Yes.
got to package that. Okay, you got to package that into something that really makes sense. So to do that, you have to talk to these people that are going through it, and you say, and if you've done it yourself already, you've been through it, you can outline exactly what that looks like to take somebody on, and just write it down step by step, and then
Yes.
have a price point. So you need to repackage your stuff so it's more comprehensive. We can understand what you're doing, right? And then I would say start, right? Start with one person and just try to pitch that first person on getting started on your
Yeah.
first package, right? And that person will lead to another person, will lead to another person. You got to start somewhere. You can't just keep doing it for free.
Fair. And narrow it in more, like as opposed to being so wide open in all. Like there's so many types of death, but like I feel like I'm being too vague and too open to everything.
Yeah, exactly. So you got to narrow in. So so whose fault is this that it's so broad and we can't understand?
Fine.
Are you ready to change this?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. So the action steps are to sit down and really come up with a package that describes how you take your client from point A to point B, from confusion and discomfort to clarity and ease.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just taking them from point A to point B. And what are the steps? So sit down and write, what are the exact steps do I take to get them there? And then step 2 will be to now place that on your website as your package. And then step 3 is to start reaching out to people that need this. Maybe you have people in your list, people that or maybe you've been talking to right now that you are currently going through things like this, that you can explain it to them and show them and sell them to finally take the step into making money from this. Okay, so
Yeah.
does that help?
That does. Absolutely. Like clarity. Like I need clarity. Yes, that totally helps.
Okay, so the takeaway for you listeners out there is get very clear on the problem that you are solving. Let the label of your education, of your title, all these things that create a barrier between the problem and the solution for people, don't try to educate people on your stuff. Give them a clear message about exactly what you do. Package it really nicely, and the other component is get started. Start selling right away. One person at a time. That's all it takes. Okay, so thank you so much, Jen. For you listeners, please comment, subscribe to my YouTube channel, like it. I'd love to hear from you all. I will be having different varieties of business owners on here, different freelancers, to make it exciting, and hopefully you can look at that situation and see how it applies to you.